Jy luister na RSG Geldsaake met Moneyweb potgoeie met gasheer Ryk van die Kerk. RSG Geldsaake met Moneyweb. Elke weeksaand tussen 6 en 7.
Die 7de ronde van die regering se hernubare energie aankope program is verlede jaar aangekondig en dit streef daarna om 5 gigawatts elektrisiteit van private son- en windkragprojekte te bekom. Die kantoor van die onafhanklike kragverskaffers het gister met sowat 500 verteenwoordigers van belangstellende partye vergader om fynere besonderhede oor die bidronde te bespreek. En daar is ook verskeie veranderings aan die regulasies aangebring wat tydens vorige rondes gegeld het. Die vernaamste is dat die kantoor reserveprojekte gaan aanwys wat kan intree as die botwenners nie betyds hulle projekte van die grond af kry nie, en dit het nou al die afgelope paar jaar gereeld gebeur. Bernard Mogoro is op die lyn. Hy is die hoof van die kantoor vir onafhanklike kragverskaffers. Bernard, thank you so much for your time. Before we speak about the bid round 7, just give us an overview of the renewable program and how much electricity produced by private producers is flowing into the Eskom grid right now.
Good evening, Rick, and good evening to your listeners. Yes, so at the moment we have 93 projects that are signed up with Eskom that are IPP or private sector owned, and they're already delivering power to Eskom. Those are the ones that are generating power. And then the total capacity from those projects is, if you look at renewables alone, it's 6.3 gigawatt or 6,300 megawatts. We also have another 1,000 megawatts of open cycle gas turbines, commonly known as diesel generators. So that's what we have. So on a given day, diesel generators can be dispatched at any time. They are not weather dependent. But the 6.3 gigawatt of renewables, it depends on how the sun is shining and how the wind is blowing. So on a given day, you can get up to 4,000 megawatts of the 6,300 megawatts. But that's obviously during the day. In the evening, you don't get the solar, then that number drops to about 1,000 megawatts, depending on how the wind is blowing on a given day.
So you said there are 93 projects which already delivers or sends electricity to Eskom. How many are in the pipeline in the various rounds that have not been concluded?
We've got about 45 on paper that are in the pipeline that we already signed up. But a number of them are struggling. I think we did communicate that we gave them until end of December. There are a few that have not come forth to sign, and that there's a process obviously following that. And then we have a number that we are busy now engaging to close those projects, to get them into construction. So in construction, we have we have about 16 projects out of the 45 that have now moved into construction phase, and the total capacity there is 1,600 megawatts.
But you've just referred to 6,000 odd megawatts of capacity, with these projects delivering over 3,000 megawatts during the day and just over 1,000 at night. The project, or this whole program, has been running for nearly a decade now, and there have been some bottlenecks. What has been the handbrake of awarding more contracts and getting more of these projects connected to the grid, so we can not only double it but triple or quadruple the amount of electricity we get from these projects?
Yeah, like I said, we actually resumed. There was a period between 2015 and 2020 where not much has been happening because there was a view that Eskom will recover and the capacity from Eskom will increase, but that unfortunately did not happen. So there about 2020 we resumed the program, and since then that's when we started the procurement rounds that I'm referring to. And unfortunately this process takes time, Rick. Just to run a procurement process alone takes about a year to a year and a half, and then they still need another 24 months for construction. But I must say the other bottleneck that we have experienced lately is the grid. There is no grid in areas where a lot of projects have been developed and they were ready over the years. You'll recall bid window 6, we went out to procure 4,200. And because of the grid, we only allocated 1,000 megawatts. So the grid is the number one bottleneck. I know that projects are also complaining about the time it takes for permits, and that is something that is being addressed through the presidency. But the grid is the number one risk that we are facing right now.
So you've announced the bid round 7. It looks to sign contracts with private producers to get around 5 gigawatts of electricity. Is there grid access for those projects?
The grid access is there. We're sitting with about 19.9 gigawatt of grid. I think the big question is, are there projects in areas where the grid is available? We know for a fact that the Cape area, from Northern Cape, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, there is zero capacity to connect right now. The 19.9 gigawatt is available in the rest of the country. Projects do take up to 2 years just to develop the project, to get all the permits and the authorizations and all the studies that are required to say this project is shovel ready. And yes, developers have started moving into those other areas. But at this point in time, we will see what comes out of these round 7. We are hopeful that there will be some projects that will be ready to bid. The biggest risk is the wind, obviously, because wind, as you're aware, it's mostly available in the Western Cape and Eastern Cape. In those areas, unfortunately, we don't have grid at the moment. There has been communications or media reports of some developments in Mpumalanga area, but we'll see what we get out of round 7.
You've reduced the deadlines or shortened the deadlines for submissions and the financial close. So it seems like you are really trying to actually get these projects to deliver electricity a lot sooner than previous rounds. Is that the case?
That is the case. We are, and I know projects are not happy with it. But given where we are as a country, I don't think we have an option. We have to try and all of us, we have to pull together, developers and the lenders, because they also play a part in approving, these projects to bid. So yes, we have reduced the timelines, and we are also encouraging projects to come forth as soon as they are ready. So they won't have to wait for a specific time to close the project. They can come as soon as they are ready to reach financial close and start construction.
Bernard, baie dankie vir jou tyd vanaand. Dit was Bernard Magoro, hy is die hoof van die kantoor vir onafhanklike kragverskaffers.
Jy het geluister na RSG Geldsaake met Moneyweb potgoeie elke weeksdag om 7 namiddag. Vir meer Moneyweb potgoeie, besoek moneyweb.co.za of laai die toepassing af en volg Moneyweb News om dagliks op hoogte te bly.